Hi everyone, in this video we're looking at changing the subject of the formula. So what does a subject of a formula mean, right? So what it is really, let's look at this particular equation or formula here. We have F is equal to ma. Now the equation or the formula, the subject of this equation or formula is that letter that is equal to everything else. It's on its own and equal to everything else. So you see how we have F here, and it's on its own and it's equal to everything else. That's what makes F the subject of the formula. And again, this is so because F is on its own and equal to everything else. So now, what if we wanted to make one of the other letters a subject of the formula? So what if we wanted to make this M here the subject of the formula? So let's look and see how we would do that. So we have F is equal to MA, right? Now that is the same as putting MA on this side and that's equal to F. Or I put the right side on the other side and this F on the right hand side, right? Same thing, we didn't do anything, just switch these sides, right? Now MA is same as M times A, and that's equal to F. I want to make M the subject, meaning I want M alone here. Pretend as though like solving equations is similar to that, right? So I want to move across this multiplication by A. That will become M equals F divided by A. Or we could write it as M is equal to F over A, like a fraction, right? And that's what was done here, right? So that's what it really means. So we're going to change subject of the formula. You rearrange the formula or the equation to get a letter that you want the subject on its standing on its own and equal to everything else. So let's look at another question. A little, I wouldn't say complicated, but a little more working. So here we have L is equal to the square root of 3x all over 5. We want to make x the subject of the formula. This x here, we want to make it the subject of the formula. So again, let's put the square root over the square root of 3x over 5 equals L on the left side. We just switch in the sides so that we have the letter that we want to make the subject on the left hand side, right? Now, we need to move across things step by step. First thing we're going to move across, we need to move across the square root sign from here. The opposite of square root is squaring. So we're going to get 3x over 5 is equal to L squared. So that's something you need to remember. If you have the square root and everything else is inside, you must move that square root sign, right? So the opposite of square root is squaring. And from there, it should be a little bit easier. So now we have 3x divided by 5 is equal to L squared. Now we're going to remove the number that's at the bottom first. So that 3x is equal to L squared. Now this is division by 5 on top here, so it will become multiplication by 5. So this is really 3 times x, right? So 3x is 3 times x is equal to L squared times 5 is same as 5L squared, right? Put the number in front. And now, again, we want x alone to be the subject of the formula. So you're going to remove this multiplication by 3. So we get 5L squared divided by 3. And we can just go one step further and put it as a fraction. So x is equal to 5L squared all over 3. Again, this all changing subject to formula is a process. Step by step, it's like solving equations, right? But we just, like how we move across things piece by piece when we solve an equation, it's the same concept here, right? So let's look at another question. Now, this is another, this is from a past paper question. I believe this is from May, June 2017. I'm not 100% sure. Alright, so what it says is the formula for the volume of a cylinder is given as V equals pi r squared by height, pi r squared by height. So right now, V is the subject of the formula because V alone is equal to everything else. We want to make R the subject of the formula. So let's write it like this one time. Pi r squared by height is equal to V. Now, remember when you have letters next to each other like this, it really means pi times r squared times height is equal to V. We want to make R the subject of the formula. So let's move across the other letters that's next to the R, right? So if you want, you can move across the times H first. So you get pi times R squared left. So that'll become V divided by H, right? and then that's pi times r squared. That's v over h, right? And again, let's move across this multiplication by pi. So you get r squared is equal to, now since it's division, I'm going to put it on the bottom one time. That'll be h by pi, right? And now, similar to the question before, we have r squared here. We want to get rid of the squaring. What is the opposite of squaring? Opposite of squaring is square root. So we do square root of v over h by pi, right? And that's it. Again, it's a process. So take your time and do it step by step, right? And let's look at another question again. Okay, so now we have a question from January 2020. Make k the subject of the formula, and this is the formula here. 2a is equal to pi k squared plus 3t. We want to make k the formula. So again, let's just switch the sides. So pi k squared plus 3t is equal to 2a. Now, again, we want to move across everything that's next to the k and make k the subject. So let's move across this here piece because it's not attached to the k right now. So move across that piece here first. So pi k squared is equal to 2a. Opposite of adding 3t will be take away 3t, right? And now pi k squared is same as pi times k squared is equal to 2a minus 3t. Now again, we want to make k the subject. So let's move across this multiplication by pi that's next to the k squared. So now k squared will be equal to 2a minus 3t all divided by pi. Again, it's k we want, not k squared. Opposite of squaring is, as we learned in the last two questions, is square root. So we do square root of 2a minus 3t pi. As I said, it's a process, so take your time and you will get it. Okay, so this is the last question we're doing, January 2019. Make x a subject of the formula, and the formula is y equals x over 5 plus 3p. So again, let's just switch the sides. So we have x over 5 plus 3p equals y. We want to make x the subject to move across everything else, right? So again, we're going to move across this plus 3p first, right? So x over 5 is equal to y take away 3p, because the opposite of adding 3p is take away 3p. And now we have x divided by 5. Now remember, the opposite of dividing by 5 is multiply by 5. So we're going to get y minus 3p. Put all this in brackets and we're going to multiply by 5. You could even answer just like that. That's perfectly fine. If we wanted to go one step further, right? So x is equal to, I can write it as 5 times minus 3p. You could go one step further and you will get 5 by y is 5y. And then 5 by minus 3p is minus 15p. But it's fine if you leave your answer right there. It's not a problem, right? So again, all the questions, in the video, just replay it, pause when we see the question, try it, and then press play to look at the answer. So I'll see you all in the next video.